Hello, dear my beloved students. Welcome back to another video lecture. This is grade 11 biology lecture video from Gursum Senior Secondary School. My name is KB. So, in this video, I would like to present for you about animal behavior. Animal behaviors. Animals do have different types of behavior, but the first question is, what is behavior? What is behavior mean? Behavior is the response that organisms provide for their external and internal stimulus. In our daily life activity, we may encounter different types of stimulus, whether these stimulus are internal or external. The practice, the attempt by which we try to give a response for each and every stimulus we encounter in our daily life activities, behavior. So, animals do have different behavior. Look at animal behavior. Animal behavior is the way in which all animals interact with their environment in the other organisms. The way in which animals interact with their environment in other organisms. Animals do have their own environment, and the animals live within environment with the other organism. So the interactions between organism with another organism and organism with their environment cause certain types of character that is called behavior. And generally speaking, we do have two types of behavior. Two types of behavior category. Those are innate behavior and learned behaviors. Behavior can be classified into innate and learned behavior. Innate or inherent behavior, or learned or acquired behavior. Some behavior can be learned through practice, through experience, through training, but some behavior can be inherited from parents. So, broadly, we can classify behavior into two major groups: inherent or innate behavior and learned or acquired behaviors. Look, innate behavior. What does innate mean? Dear my student, innate behavior, as the name indicates, it is inborn behavior, the behavior that animals contain as a result of inborn, or they do have this type of behavior without any experience, no need of any training, no need of any learning. This is through genetically determined trait. So innate behavior means inborn, genetically determined behavior. These types of behavior are determined by genes. We inherit these types of behavior from our parent. No need of learning, no need of training is required to reflect these types of behavior in our daily life activity. Yes, we do have three types of innate behavior. The first one is instinctive behavior. Instinctive means it is a complex, unlearned behavior pattern. It is complex, but it is unlearned. For example, weaving building a spider. If you see a spider at your home, maybe a spider make a web. Making a web of a spider does not require any training, does not require school. It is naturally predetermined by gene. So this types of behavior is innate. It is so complex, but no need to learn. It is in nature. It is in learn. So weaving a spin of a spider is the best example of an instinctive behavior. The other is reflexive behavior, simple, involuntary response to stimuli. It is a simple, automatic, and involuntary response to stimuli. Certain types of stimuli may be available in your environment, and you respond for this stimulus automatically, involuntary, and very fast. Example, blanking. For example, if someone says just like this, you may blank or close your eye. There is a knee jerk, sneezing. No need of education to sneeze. No need of experience to sneeze. Hiccup. No need of experience to say a hiccup, Orientation, the other is what? Orientation behavior. Orientation, movement in response to stimuli. Movement of organism in response to stimuli. It is about position of a stimuli with respect to a stimuli. The position of organism with a reference to what? With reference to stimuli. Some organisms move toward the stimulus. Some organisms move away from stimulus. If the stimulus is comfortable area, if a comfortable zone, organism must move towards that stimuli. If environment of stimulus is discomfort or danger zone, organism must escape that environment. So these three types of behavior are included under innate behavior. The other is learned behavior. Learned behavior. Look, as the name indicates, learned behavior is a behavior that you learn. So with experience, so training, so practice, try and error. So there are different types of learned behavior. It is modified by experience. Modified by experience. Most of the time, these types of behavior is acquired from parents, then develop as your social aspect is developed. The first learned behavior is habituation. Habituation means decreased response to repeated stimuli. If certain stimuli in your environment is frequently repeated, you ignore to respond for that stimuli as a result of long exposure. Long exposure. For example, when you enter your study room, you start to read your textbook, and another person come immediately in your room and open television, but you are not interested to listen television for that time. It makes you some annoying, boring, but after 5 or 10 minutes, you may forget whether the TV is functional or not in your room, because you ignore to respond toward the television. Your attention is only to read your textbook. So such a type of behavior, ignoring response for frequently repeated stimulus, is called habituation. Habituation. The other is classical conditioning. Is a type of learned behavior that organisms associate to stimulus together in the response to the stimulus that have no related previously. This classical conditioning was conducted by Sir Ivan Pavlov, Russian psychologist. This Russian psychologist is very excellent person. He did his experiment on dog. He do this experiment in different pathways. At the first time, he bailed a ring. He bailed a ring. And the dog is not salivate. Salivation is what? The response that the dogs naturally give for a food. But Ivan Pavlov, a Russian psychologist, bailed a ring. And the dog has no any concept about a bail. At the second time, he provided food for a dog. At this time, the dog salivates. At the third stage, he bailed a ring as well as provide food for a dog. The dog also salivates. And finally, he bailed a ring, and finally dog salivates. Look, at the first time when the bell was rang, the dog was not respond because dog have no any concept about a bell. But the dog associates the concept of availability of food with that of a bell, And dog learn that always when a bell is ring, food may available. So this type of learning is called classical conditioning. Classical conditioning. The other is operant conditioning. It is also associative learning. But in case of associative learning or operant conditioning, learning through reinforcement in the punishment. The two concepts you have to remember when you study about operant conditioning. There is reinforcement or punishment, a reward in the punishment. The reward will enforce or increase the behavior, and the punishment will decrease the behavior. Insight learning, solving a problem based on previous experience and reasoning. Insight learning is another type of what? Learned behavior. It is a learning behavior in which solving a problem based on previous experience and reasoning. You accumulate certain types of behavior through your life activity, and sometimes when a problem encounters you, you solve the problem based on the experience you have. So these types of behavior is insight learning. You are not use that information always, but you use it at a problem time. The other is sensitization. Sensitization means increased response to repeated stimulus. When stimulus increase, response will be increase. But in case of habituation, when stimulus increase, you ignore to respond it, and the response will be ignored. But in case of sensitization, increase the response to repeated stimulus. For example, if you see that snake at a day, you may be afraid of everything that's similar with a snake, but that is not snake. That's sensitization. That is sensitizations. The other concept topic that I would like to transmit is to you is what? Patterns of behavior. Behavior have different patterns. The first pattern of behavior is what? Behavioral cycle. But what does pattern mean? Pattern means it is a regular pathway in which certain types of activities flow. So there are different patterns of behavior. These are behavioral cycles, certain types of several animal behavior is in a cycle, whether per second, per minute, per day, per week, per month, per year, or per season. So behavioral cycle, pattern of behavior that occur in response to periodic change. This is what? There is a periodic change. It may be a response to periodic changes in the environment. The other is seasonal migration. For example, seasonal migration, movement of animal. Migration means a movement of animal from one habitat to another. For example, if the environment is dry, animal must move or escape from dry environment to wet environment where availability of water is sufficient. They may escape this environment due to water scarcity. So seasonal migration is one behavior that is in a cyclical way. Different seasons are available. For example, autumn, spring, winter, in summer. For example, autumn season may be difficult for certain types of several types of insects, several types of birds, mammals in certain ecosystem. So they have to escape that ecosystem at the autumn season. This is what? Seasonal migration. The other is circadian rhythms. Which means daily cycle behavior. Circadian, daily cycle of behavior. Example, sleep, wake cycle. You may sleep at 6 hours and wake at 12 or sometimes. So sleep-wake cycle is a biological clock. The setting is arranged by nature. It is at 24 hours. So this is circadian rhythm. The other behavioral pattern is reproductive behavior. Behavior related to mating, courtship, in the rising of spring. Mating means it is a coupling of what? Organism for the matter of reproduction, but courtship is what? Precondition that used to facilitate organism for mating. It is a way organisms are attract another organism for the mating purpose in raising the offspring. After child is being born, raising is the purpose. So reproductive behavior, different animals have different reproductive behavior. The other is social behavior, interaction among individuals within a group, example cooperative behavior, dominance, hierarchy are what? Types of behavior. So akka walii galatti barattoota keenya kan mana barnootaa sadarkaa lammaffaa gorsanii jirtaniif bifa gabaabaadhaan viidiyoo kana laalaa bira deebitanii akka laaltaniif viidiyoo kana kan hin qopheesse kanaaf mata duree animal behavior yookaan amala bineensotaa jechuudha. Animal behavior kan jennu amala bineensaa jechuudha. Bineensonni amala garaa garaa qaban. Amala bineensotaa jechuun adeemsa bineensonni waan naannoo isaanii jiruuf deebisaa kennuudhaaf taasisan. Ifni yoo jiraate ifa sana, ifni humnaa ol nutti ife ija libsan. Yoo nutti oowwe dhiqachuu dandeenya yookaan immoo bakka gaaddisaa barbaaduu dandeenya. Yoo nutti qabbanaa immoo bakka owwaa dhabuu dandeenya. Adeemsi nuti goonu sun maalidha? Behavior jechuudha. Akka walii galaatti behavior jenna. So behavior akkamitti the way in which animal interact, akkaataa bineensonni walitti react ta'anis yookaan immoo wal quunnaman yookaan immoo waliin jiraatanidha. Hariiroo waliin qabaatanidha. With their environment. Walitti dhufeenya bineensonni bineensota wajjin, bineensonni environment wajjin godhanii maal jennan behavior jennan. Bineensonni bineensota akka isaanii wajjin, bineensonni environment, biotic environment. Environment lubbuu hin qabne. Environment lubbuu qabu jennan. Types of behavior. Behavior gosa lama jira. Behavior bineensonni agarsiisan, amaloonni bineensonni agarsiisan amaloota dhalootaan argatanii fi amaloota barnootaan argatan kan jennu jira. Bineensonni fakkeenyaaf innate behavior guu jennu amala barnootaan osoo hin taane amala dhalootaan argannu. Bineensonni kamuu insects haa ta'u, birds, amphibians, whether it is vertebrate or invertebrate, they do have innate behavior. Amala dhalootaan argatan. It is inborn, dhalootaanidha. Genetically determined, shanyiidhaan kan hoogganu, shanyiidhaan warrarraa gara ilmootti amaloota dabran. Amaloota kana reflect gochuudhaaf leenjiin hin barbaachisu, yaaliin hin barbaachisu, muuxannoon hin barbaachisu. No need of experience, no need of training, no need of education, no need of schooling. For example, instinctive behavior jechaan ture. Instinctive behavior yeroo jennu amala baay'ee wal xaxaa ta'e garuu amala hin baratamnedha. Akkasumatti yeroo godhan argaa bineensonni akkasumatti baranis amalli kun leenjiidhaan sheeppii kan ta'u miti. Uumamaan jira. Garuu kompleksiidha. Fakkeenyaaf web building in spider. Sharriitiin yookaan aaroon mana ishee yeroo ijaarrattu akkasumatti ijaarti malee saayikilii yookaan immoo ekspiriyansii hin barbaadu. Uumamaan beekte jechuudha. Kan biraa reflex behavior. Amala rifachiisuu yookaan immoo amala osoo hin beekin goonu jechuudha. Osoo hin beekin fakkeenyaaf inni kun simpiliidha, salphaadha, garuu involuntaryidha. Hooggansa keenya oli wanti kun hooggansa keenya oli waan kana dhaabuu qabna, itti fufsiisuu qabna jennee determine gochuu hin dandeenyu, hoogganuu hin dandeenyu, dhaabuu hin dandeenyu. Amalli sun maali? Involuntaryidha. Amalli sun salphaadha, garuu baay'ee ariitii qaba. Amaloonni kun baay'inaan ittisaaf nu gargaara. Fakkeenyaaf blanking, nam tokko ijatti yoo akkan hin jee namni akkanatti ija wala keessaa hin jiru. Ija libsan jechuudha. Kanaaf ija libsachuudhaaf dirqama maal taana? Ija yeroo libsannu kun humna keenya ol yookaan immoo beekumsa keenya ol ta'a jechuudha. Barbaaneetiin fakkeenya kan biraa hattifachuu. Hattifachuu fudhan sneezing kan jennu it is what? Reflex behavior. It is innate behavior. Yaaliidhaan, muuxannoodhaan, leenjiidhaan namni akkatti hattifatan lafarraa baratu hin jiru baay'ee uumamaan jechuudha. Akkatti ija libsatan leenjii nama barbaachisu. Akkatti qufa'an leenjii nama barbaachisu. Dhahannaa onnee namarraa leenjii fudhannee hin barru. These types of behaviors are innate in reflex behavior. Inni biraa orientation behavior. Kun amma maalidha? Movement response to stimulus. Sochii bineensonni stimulusii wal qabatee godhan. Rifachiisoo naannoo keenya jiru oowwa haa ta'u qabbana, jiidha haa ta'u goggoga, mijawaa ta'u rakkisaa wanti naannoo keenya jiru san itti deemna moo irraa deemna kan jiru wal qabata jechuudha. Bineensonni garii based on comfortability of that stimulus they move toward it. Wanti sun yoo mijataa ta'e itti deemu yoo mijataa hin taane immoo irraa deemu jechuudha. Kun orientation behavior jennaan. Kanaafuu amalli sadeen kun innate behavior jennaan. Booda worksheetiilee garaagaraa kanaan wal qabatan asirratti isiniif hin dalaga. Walii ilaalaa deemna jechuudha. Inni biraa learned behavior jennaan. Learned behavior akka mataasaa learning jechuun it is exchange of what? Change of attitude, skill and knowledge. Learning. Someone has learned. Yeroo jennu nam tokko barate kan jennu if there is a change of what? Skill, knowledge and attitude. Nam tokko skillidha yoo kan fooyya'u ta'e, beekumsa, knowledge yoo kan fooyya'u ta'e, attitude ilaalcha kan fooyya'u yoo ta'e namtichi maal jenna? Learning jennaan. So learning is what? A temporary exchange of behavior jennaan. Barreessitoonni tokko tokko bifa gadhaadhaatiin kanaaf learned behavior kan jennu maal jechuudha? Learned behavior are modified by experience. Modify gochuu dandeenya behavioriiwwan kana kan qaxxifachuuti jedhama. Qaxxifachuu modify gochuu hin dandeenya. Hiqqifachuu modify gochuu hin dandeenya. Qofa'uu modify gochuu hin dandeenya. Rifachuu modify gochuu hin dandeenya. Because they are innate, geneedhaan determined ta'an garuu amaloota biraa maal gochuu dandeenya? Modify fooyyessaa deemuu dandeenya. Fakkeenyaaf habituation bartee. Decrease response to repeated stimulus. Wanta nutti dhufe wanta jalqaba nuuf haaraa ta'e tokko yeroo jalqabaatiif nutti haaraa ta'a. Ni rifan nu rakkisuu danda'a. Akkuma keessa turru maal goona addatti goona ni barra jechuudha. Kanaafuu barnoonni yookaan immoo learningiin akkanaa kun behavioriin akkanaa kun maal jennaan? Habituation jennaan. Fakkeenyaaf hin jiru dura osoo isin kutaa qo'annaa keessatti qo'achaa jirtan nam tokko dhufee televezyiina yookaan banu ta'e yeroodhaaf televezyiiniin sun isin jeequu danda'a. Daqiiqaa 5 daqiiqaa 10 booda garuu televezyiiniin jiraachuu isaatu ni irraanfattu. Sababbiin isaa you are focused only on study your textbook. Qo'annaa irratti xiyyeeffatta waan ta'e. Kanaafuu deebisaa TVdhaaf kennaa jirru san maal gochaa deemna? Dhiisaa deemna ignore goona jechuudha. Stop responding to stimulus as a result of long exposure. Kanaaf barattoota keenya gama danda'ame hundaan isin gargaaruudhaaf isin cinaa jirra. Yaada keessanis kennaa yaada wal ijaaru waan fooyya'uu qabu walii kennaa adeemnu wal taanee waliin taanee dhaloota hawaasni imaanaa nutti kan gargaarsa rabbiitiin ni ceesifna. Nagaan naa ta'a.